Off season was really good. I was able to, this was my first time actually ever racing every single race in the 450 class. So that was pretty something that I was able to check off the list, which was cool. And then I was able to enjoy it. We went to the Bahamas, enjoyed that for a bit. Went to North Carolina and saw my family and friends and hung out for a bit. Was able to go to MotoGP at Austin, hang out there. That was super fun. And then yeah, basically it was back to work. And yeah, as far as getting into the riding of the off season, it's been great. As we're all here, we have the new bike, so that's actually was really good. I was able to get on it right away, feel really good right at home. We had to stay out here a little longer than normal. We were here all of November just because of parts and not being able to see the new bike and logistics and stuff like that. So yeah, life's good, everything's good, and now the fun stuff starts. It was probably the easiest transition I've ever had. I've never had a new bike under KTM. I mean, before in the 250 days and stuff, we went through transitions where you have a new bike, and generally it was always better, but there has been times where it was kind of like, man, it actually didn't work out kind of like I wanted it to. So this one right away was really good. It felt like it was made for me in a sense. You know, the cockpit area, the engine, suspension, just right away I got on it and I'm like, man, this thing's damn good. And I was fortunate enough to ride it kind of in the earlier stages a few years back and in a stock form, and in a stock form it was really good. So that's, in my opinion, when you kind of know a bike has a lot of potential. So the team did a great job of developing it, and I kind of got to a point fairly quickly, and I just said, hey, I don't know if we can improve it at this point. And I don't know if those words have ever come out of my mouth. So it's pretty cool. Like I said, we haven't changed much as far as testing or really development-wise. I've been on the same setting for about the last month and couldn't be happier. As far as the final product, not too much. A few years ago, like I said, they came out and did some R&D stuff, and it was really cool. The whole Austrian team and everyone came out and said, hey, this is our stock form, but what would you like to see, and what do you think could be better? And it was such a solid base that there really wasn't much, but I was able to give a little bit of input and explain to them, you know, the supercrosses versus the motocrosses and what I would like to see and what our goal is, and it was really cool. So I mean, who knows if, you know, what was really changed as far as that goes, but there was a few things that actually came about a few years later that was from my input, so that was really cool. And seeing it kind of transition from 3 years ago to now and seeing it in person is really cool. And like I said, once you ride it, it's something where, not that you have anxiety, but you're like, man, I just won on last year's bike, like, do I really want to change? And then you do, and you're like, man, it's a good feeling. It's awesome having AP on board. We were teammates in the past and have been great friends since we were little kids, so it's really cool. You know, it's my 9th year, so every time you kind of get something new, it's fun. You know, it's obviously our job, and it can get repetitive, so it's always nice to have great teammates and especially a really good friend. And we travel, you know, a lot of weekends out of the year, so when you have someone that you're buddies with and you can go have dinner and hang out and be yourself around, it does make it really nice. And I think for the team, they've seen us and how we operate. It's a little loose compared to most other teams or racers, I guess you could say. So they're getting to know us a bit, but yeah, I think the first few days together, we were right back at home, joking, laughing, you know, talking nonsense. So it's been really cool. I'm excited for him. I'm excited for myself, and I think he's going to be probably a pain in my butt this year. Yeah, I love that it's back to normal Supercross schedule. You know, 17 rounds, 17 different venues, different soils, different fans, different cities. To me, that's what makes Supercross, and it was awesome to be able to race like we had the last 2 years during the pandemic and get it in and get it done. But I mean, this is Supercross. That's what makes it the best sport. You know, is being able to go race all these different places in front of different fans, packed out. You know, not many stipulations now, so I'm excited for that. And yeah, I think for me, I love traveling, so to travel to a different city every weekend is just cool. I think the biggest thing is obviously to go after another championship, and this year I had the #1 plate again, like I did in 2020, and I ended up second in that series. So the biggest thing is I'm really determined and super focused to try to back-to-back. It's something that I did in the lights class, but I haven't been able to do on the 450. So definitely intrigues me. I would love to get the 3rd championship, and that's really what we're doing. I mean, that's why I'm here and why I'm racing, and why I do what I do is to go out there and perform at the highest level and win. So as always, there's going to be plenty of guys coming after me, and it's a stacked field like it always is. So I think just trying to be better than I was the year before. I know it's always easier to say, but you know, the goal is to win a championship, but there's always plenty more goals. You always want more wins or more hole shots or more podiums. So I think for me, just improving and being in that title hunt again, and ultimately going after the championship.